We're rounding out our Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise Monday with some delicious food. Chef Lindsay Autry from Regional Kitchen and Public House is here for Meatless Mondays. Now, this is something that's new to me. It's a grain, sorghum.
Sorghum.
Yeah,
okay. So, I mean, you know, a lot of people now are looking for healthy ways to cook with other things besides rice.
Absolutely.
And I think all of us are familiar with quinoa now, which is a great thing to use, but there's also a really great grain, and it's actually a grass, which makes it gluten-free. That's called sorghum.
And I want to point to it just so our viewers can see it. It's in this bowl right here.
Yeah, so it's very similar to like couscous or even barley,
so
texture-wise.
Kind of fluffy? Okay.
Yeah, and it's hearty. It's a little bit more filling than quinoa is, which can sometimes resemble birdseed a little bit, you know. And so we actually use this at the restaurant as an alternative grain that's gluten-free.
Okay.
And you know, it's really low in carbs, which is great. And so what we do is we make a filling. And we're going to use piquillo peppers, which are small, sweet Spanish peppers. And you can find them in jars in the grocery store.
Okay.
And you just want to take them out. They're liquid and let them dry a little bit. And then I have just sauteed a little bit of onion and garlic with some oyster mushrooms. You could use other mushrooms. If you don't like mushrooms, you don't have to. And then I've added a little bit of nice canned tomatoes or tomato sauce, whichever you have. And then we're going to fold in this sorghum that we've cooked.
Now, the sorghum, you cook that and you boil it in water?
Yep, cook it just like rice. It just requires more water than rice does. So normally rice cooks with 2 times the amount of water, and sorghum cooks with 4. It takes a little bit longer.
Double that. Now, I know you have the recipe on our website, but if our folks at home didn't want to use sorghum, you said you can turn to the rice, the quinoa.
You can use rice, quinoa, and all those alternatives are also on the recipe online. And just this technique of mixing together some tomatoes, some vegetables, and then we stuff them inside the peppers, which we have here.
It's beautiful.
And we finish it with just a little bit of fresh basil and parsley just to make it nice and fresh.
Smells delicious. Wow.
And then we actually have this on our lunch menu right now.
Oh, good.
And one way that you can easily plate this up is I've got some warm tomato sauce here, which, you know, if you have a jar of something laying around, I won't judge you that you didn't make it. It's all right.
She's a true chef, though.
Yeah. And so then we have the stuffed piquillo peppers, which you just put these in the oven at like 350 just to warm them through because you've already cooked everything.
Got it. So from start to finish, this recipe, what? 30 minutes?
30 minutes if you, and you can cook the sorghum the day before.
Love that.
Now, one thing that's great is this dish is vegan on its own, but I like to put a little bit of goat cheese just to add some creaminess.
Oh my goodness, that's delectable.
Right on top, and then we just serve it with a really great salad that we.
You are always teaching us something new. I know you mentioned this is on the lunch menu right now.
Yes.
But you also have some other great stuff. Anything new?
Yeah, so we also do, in the spirit of Meatless Monday, we do a whole roasted cauliflower with soy and olive oil. That's really delicious right now. And then we have our meat in 3, which means that you pick the meat or the protein that you want, and then you get a list of like 10 different sides that you get to pick from. So you can come in multiple times.
And in the spirit of Meatless Monday, I can't not let her mention her tomato pie.
Oh, yes. And then there's tomato pie.
It's just phenomenal if you haven't had it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you always, and you always just teach us something new.